the a-hole for blocking my best friend of 15 years and ruining her marriage. I, 30 female, met my best friend Jen, 29 female, freshman year of high school. From the start, we were thick as thieves, had an apartment together in college, we were in each other's weddings, truly someone I thought I'd be causing chaos with in the retirement home. That is, until last year. Jen had started a new job and there she met Drake. They seemed to really hit it off. She talked about him all the time. I asked her if this was turning into something, and she assured me that no, she loved her husband. I was like, wait a second, I'm sorry. Isn't she married? It was just nice to have a new friend she could chat with at work. I didn't believe her, neither do I, because she had that kind of giddy schoolgirl with a crush type of behavior. But I figured it was probably just a crush and things would cool down once the newness of this guy wore off. I told her to be careful and not to let something fleeting ruin her relationship with her husband. Harsh, but true. Sometimes you need to give your friends some tough love. A few weeks later, she tells me her brother Sam was having a house party and my husband and I should come. Her brother was the sort who had a party for pretty much any occasion he could think of, and my husband and I had been to quite a few of his parties. So it sounded like a fun night out. Night of the party, we show up at Sam's house and there's very few cars in the driveway. Thinking maybe we're early, we go to the door and knock and Jen welcomes us in. We walk inside and there is no one there except for Drake, who is sat on the couch watching TV. I give Jen a what the f look, and she apologizes for her party fib and says that she didn't think I would come over otherwise. She says Sam is on a work trip and asked her to stay at his house to watch his dogs. Since her husband Arthur wasn't able to come with her, he works shift work, Sam said she could invite some friends over if she felt unsafe being alone in the house overnight. So she invites the guy that she has a low-key crush on from work. Got it. I said okay, but why would that make her think she needed to lie to get me to come over? Because she invited the guy you told her to stay away from. She said she thought it would be the perfect opportunity for her to introduce Drake to her best friend. But again, why lie? But she assumed I wouldn't want to come if I knew Arthur wouldn't be there. I said, if nothing fishy's going on, why wouldn't I want to meet her new friend? She said I made such a big deal about it last time we spoke about him, and she didn't think I approved of their friendship. She said that my husband and I were already here, so we might as well just hang out and play some board games and maybe watch a movie. I said, okay, and we stayed to play some games. Jen and Drake had some drinks while we played, but I don't drink because of the medication I'm taking, and my husband doesn't usually either, in solidarity. Ooh, love that. After a few games, we decided to watch a movie, and Jen and Drake were getting rather cozy on the couch together. Cozy, you say? Okay. Which made me pretty uncomfortable. So instead of staying to the end of the movie, I decided to leave. They both pretty much ignored me when I said we were taking off, so we left. I tried to contact Jen over the weekend to basically ask her what the heck all of that was about, but she seemingly had fallen into a hole in the earth because she was not answering my calls and my messages were being left on unread. Then, Monday afternoon, I get a call from Sam, furious at me. I beg your finest pardon. He's calling me disrespectful trash, saying he always knew I was a bad friend and how dare I treat him or Jen this way. What did she say? I'm flabbergasted and I tell Sam I genuinely have no idea what he's talking about, so can he take at least a minute to explain why he's talking to me in this way? He says he got home from his trip early that morning to find his house absolutely trashed. Beer bottles and cans all over the house, food left on tables and counters to rot, cigarette butts snuffed out in the sink and strewn about his deck and yard. And the worst thing, a used condom in his bed. Absolutely not. What did she do? Blame it on you? I asked him why on earth he thought I would have done all that, and he says when he got home and found his house that way, he immediately called Jen, and she said my husband and I came over, got crazy drunk, and trashed the house, and passed out in his bed. Oh, hell no! All for her to have a little romp with Drake She said she tried to clean what she could, but there was simply too much to do alone. I was stunned. I tried to tell Sam why none of that could possibly be true, but he cut me off and said, if it's between you and my sister, I'm believing my sister, and told me he expected to come over to clean up my mess or to pay him to hire a cleaner, and he hung up the phone. I immediately called Jen, who of course did not answer. I was livid at this point, so I sent her a text that said, if you do not answer my call, I'm calling Arthur and telling him everything. I bet she answers now. I called again and she picked up with an annoyed, what? I said, you told Sam I trashed his house and giggity-gooed in his bed. I'm not okay with anyone thinking I'm the sort of person who would do that, and I'm certainly not going to do it just to help you cover up your cheating. You need to tell Sam the truth and clean up your mess. She didn't respond to any of what I said, simply told me she couldn't talk to me because she was working and that she'd call me later, and hung up the phone. She, of course, did not call. The next morning, I got a notification that someone had replied to a comment I made on one of her photos. When I clicked on the notification, I got a content... She blocked you. Oh no, you call in Arthur. You call in Arthur right now. Confused, I tried to go to her page and realized she'd blocked me from her social media. In my anger, I blocked her as well and also blocked her number and Sam's number. Then I sent a message to Arthur telling him about the affair with Drake. He thanked me for telling him and said he suspected something was going on, but he didn't really have proof. I didn't speak to Jen, Sam, or Arthur at all after that day. I found out months later through a mutual friend that Jen and Arthur had gotten divorced. Apparently, after my tip, Arthur had secretly installed an app on Jen's phone that sent him a copy of all the messages she sent or received. What app is that? For research purposes. So he had a full transcript of the messages between her and Drake. I know I was wrong by Jen, but I can't help but feeling like I took things too far in the heat of the moment. But maybe I just missed my friend and I'm still mourning the loss of a longtime friendship. What do you think, Reddit?